Good evening, Cameroon, and welcome to the 6:30 p.m. news live from Yaoundé, Cameroon's political capital, this Tuesday, the 20th of January, 2026. As usual, we begin with our top stories. Cameroon is embarking on one of its most ambitious urban transformation programs in recent years. A massive 121 billion francs CFA project has been launched to redefine mobility, modernize urban planning, and improve the quality of life in the political and economic capitals of Yaoundé and Douala. The initiative marks a decisive step in government's drive to reshape city life and address long-standing challenges of congestion, transport, and urban growth. And also in this edition, after 2 years of silence in Cameroon's highest academic circles, a decisive signal has been given from the presidency. President Paul Biya has officially authorized the resumption of doctoral studies nationwide, reopening the doors to PhD programs and reviving hopes for advanced research, innovation, and the future of higher education in the country. Those were the top stories of the 6:30 p.m. newscast. The developments of these and more up next. Thank you for joining us. We are delighted to have you. My name is Fabrice Kedinga on the anchor seat tonight. And we open the news with some good news, where Cameroon is embarking on one of its most ambitious urban transformation programs in recent history. A massive 121 billion CFA project has been launched to redefine mobility, modernize urban planning, and improve the quality of lives in the political and economic capitals of Yaoundé and Douala. The initiative marks a decisive step in government's drive to reshape city life and address long-standing challenges of congestion, transport, and urban growth. Details with Micheline Beloa.
The Sustainable Cities and Land Management Project has been officially launched by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Ketcha-Koutes. Backed by a 121 billion francs CFA investment, the project focuses on the construction and rehabilitation of roads and urban road networks in Yaoundé and Douala. Approved on May 30, 2025, the initiative marks a new phase in the development of modern urban infrastructure. It is being implemented by MINDU in close collaboration with decentralized local authorities and relevant sector ministries.
This project is basically helping strengthen the system of cities in Cameroon. One of the key features of this project is that we're making cities more resilient to climate change, but also making it more inclusive so that citizens can actually be part of the urban fabric.
Beyond road works, the project aims to sustainably improve urban mobility, land use planning, and land governance in the targeted cities, with technical and financial support from the World Bank.
So a couple of things that the project is basically focusing on is it's focusing on improvement of roads and drainages, which will basically help protect communities. It's also financing a lot of open public spaces so that people can enjoy. It's also piloting very innovative nature-based solutions so we can save our environment, like mangroves in Douala. And also what it's doing is it's basically helping improve the land administration system in the country. As we know that the cities are expanding very rapidly, people need land for housing and social infrastructure. So one of the things that the project is also focusing on is a very strong collaboration with MINCAF on land administration, but also making sure that land is available for citizens.
With its 121 billion franc CFA funding envelope, the project represents a strategic step in modernizing national urban policies. Emphasis is placed on operational efficiency, sustainable investment, and coherence between urban planning, land management, and infrastructure development. Key elements expected to significantly improve living conditions for urban populations.
And now, after 4 years of silence in Cameroon's highest academic circles, a decisive signal has been given from the presidency. President Paul Biya has officially authorized the resumption of doctoral studies nationwide, signaling hope for PhD programs and, of course, advanced research, innovation, and the future of higher education. Details with Benjamin Afani.
The government of Cameroon has formally announced the resumption of admissions into doctoral programs at state universities, ending a suspension that had been in place since mid-2023. This decision follows a high-level presidential directives and marks a key step in the government's broader strategy to restore normalcy and quality in the higher educational sector. In July 2023, the Ministry of Higher Education ordered a halt to PhD admissions and selections into public universities. According to officials, the suspension was motivated by insufficient finance and institutional capacity to support quality research supervision. In spite the head of state's formal approval for resumption of PhD admissions for the 2025-2026 academic year, PhD enrollment is still restricted to only 600 candidates. The presidential decree highlights that the 11 state universities in Cameroon get a fair share. The University of Bamenda is to host 60 candidates, the University of Bertois to host 30 candidates, University of Boya to host 60 candidates, University of Douala to host 60 candidates, University of Chang to host 60 candidates, University of Eboloa to host 30 candidates, University of Garoua to host 30 candidates, and University of Marwa to host 75 candidates, University of Ngaoundéré to host 60 candidates, University of Yaoundé 1 to host 60 candidates, University of Yaoundé 2 to host 75 candidates, giving a total of 600 candidates for the 2025-2026 academic year.
To Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon, where denizens of Maifo Bonadikumbu over the weekend took to the street, demanding the return of electricity in their neighborhoods after 6 months of absence. In a video seen on the social media, women are seen carrying placards with several messages demanding a return of electricity in their neighborhood. Let's have this excerpt of the women who took to the streets over the weekend.
Papa, we need lights. We don't be 6 months, we don't get lights. Yes. Papa, we need so far, light no day. My own time was on 1 year, give my study on 6 months. So my on 8 months, light no day. We need people dark. We don't get begin and then you read. Small begin a cockroach, you buy them for night. We need the cereals, we need full cockroach. Promised land.
And just to indicate that after weekend's protest, electricity has been restored in Maifo Limbe, Bonadikumbu. Still in line with electricity shortage, in the southwest region, electricity often returns only after anger spills onto the street, exposing troubling reality. For NOUS, darkness is tolerable until public protest forces emergency action. The following commentary regrets the fact that Cameroonians have to always take to the street to have what is theirs. Each time residents of the southwest region take to the street over prolonged power outages, one pattern repeats itself with troubling consistency. NOUS suddenly finds transformers in Douala and rushes them in an emergency response. The unspoken message is hard to ignore. Without public protest, darkness can last indefinitely. This reoccurrent scenario raises serious questions about crisis management, accountability, and equity in public service delivery. Why must communities first endure weeks, sometimes months, of blackouts before their grievances are treated with urgency? And why does action only follow public pressure? At the heart of the problem appears to be a reactive rather than proactive operational culture. Transformers do not break down overnight without warning. Load stress, aging infrastructure, and technical faults are predictable challenges in the power sector. The expectation, therefore, is that INEO will maintain consistency stocks, especially in regions historically plagued by instability, difficult terrain, and frequent outages like the Southwest region. The fact that equipment must be transported from Douala as a matter of emergency suggests poor planning or a troubling absence of regional preparedness. Equally concerning is the perception of selective urgency. When protests erupt, responses are swift, technical teams are deployed, equipment is mobilized, and communication improves. Before then, affected communities often complain of silence, unanswered calls, and vague assurances. This creates the impression that public anger, not institutional responsibility, is what drives service delivery. There is also a deeper trust issue at play. Electricity is not a luxury, it is a basic service that underpins healthcare, water supply, education, and economic survival. In a region already burdened by sociopolitical challenges, prolonged blackouts compound hardship and fuel frustration. When residents see solutions appear only after protest, it reinforces the belief that peaceful complaints are inactive, leaving protest as the only language that elicits actions. Ultimately, INEO's recurring guilty verdict in the court of public opinion is self-inflicted. Effective communication, decentralized equipment storage, preventive maintenance, and clear response timelines could prevent many of these crises. Until then, each protest will continue to expose not just broken transformers, but a broken response system, one where darkness persists until voices grow loud enough to force the lights back on. Cameroonian artist Lily has officially unveiled her new album titled Sac Makone. This was during a press conference which took place yesterday in Yaoundé, bringing together cultural stakeholders. The new album highlights a project deeply rooted in traditional values. We have details of this report with Jackie Nyebele.
The Cameroonian artist Lily held a press conference to officially present her new album titled Sac Makone in the presence of art critics, cultural stakeholders, and media professionals. Known for embodying traditional and ancestral values, Lily stands out as an artist who feels comfortable across several music genres. Her artistic universe blends world music, gospel, and folklore, reflecting a rich, diverse cultural identity. Beyond music, Lily is recognized as a socially and culturally committed artist, using her voice to promote heritage, values, and unity.
We are here to talk about my new album. It's the 5th album, and this album is all I think like 90% based on Makone dance. The Makone is a dance coming from the Bassa region, Bassa-Mpo-Bati region, based in the littoral center, southwest, some parts of southwest, yes. And then the public does not know what is Makone. Some of them like Makone, but they don't have much songs where they can dance on Makone. Most of them want to dance Makone in clubs, during parties, not normal parties, but they don't have songs. So I decided to make songs, urban songs based on Makone, so that our young dancers, our young fans can dance on those songs. And so that most of the public here in Cameroon or out of the country can know that not only Asiko, that is a patrimonial dance of the Bassa people, but there is also Makone.
With Sac Makone, her latest album, Lily makes a deliberate choice to highlight the Makone rhythm, a deeply rooted Cameroonian traditional sound. The album is made up of approximately 75% Makone rhythm, underlining the artist's determination to preserve and modernize the musical heritage. More than a musical project, Sak Makune is both an invitation to dance the Makune and a patriotic artistic statement. Through this album, Lily expresses her desire to sign a distinctly Cameroonian patriotic rhythm, celebrating her identity, culture, and national pride. According to art critics present at the event, the album continues significantly to the promotion of local music heritage while opening the Makone rhythm to a wider audience, both nationally and internationally.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the 6:30 p.m. news live from Yaoundé, Cameroon's political capital. In the littoral region, precisely in Kongsamba, the 2026 state budget has been launched in that part of the country. A budget of 10.8 billion francs CFA was launched recently, and officials say the budget will strengthen local development, improved project execution, and reinforce transparency in the management of public funds across the Mongo and Camp divisions. Jackie Nyebeli tells us about the 10.8 billion budget from Kongsamba.
In Kongsamba, the Littoral 2 financial district, which includes the Mongo and Camp divisions, officially kicks off the 2026 budget cycle with a total allocation of 10,811,738. Of these, 8,148,442 is designated for Mongo and 2,663,196 for Camp, signaling targeted financial planning aimed at meeting localized development priorities. The ceremony held on January 13, 2026 was presided over by Yves Bertrand Nwenjana, Senior Divisional Officer for Mongo, in the presence of Madame Nadej Ateba and several key actors involved in the public expenditure chain. This event marked a major institutional milestone in preparing the financial year, underlining the district's commitment to budgetary transparency, fiscal responsibility, and effective public action execution. According to officials present, the launch was structured around technical presentations and discussions designed to deepen understanding of fiscal innovations, new contractual approaches for public expenditures, and the public investment budgets. These sessions help clarify execution strategies and dispel uncertainties about implementation process within the framework of good governance and accountability tailored to the socio-economic realities of the Littoral 2 division. The 2026 national budget context further underscores the importance of such local budget exercises. At the national level, Cameroon's overall budget for the fiscal year was projected to be significantly higher than previous year, reflecting an increase of roughly 14% compared to 2025, a sign of broader commitment in equitable developments across diverse regions of the country. As this fiscal cycle officially begins, the focus of the Littoral 2 will be on efficient execution, monitoring outcomes, and local needs.
Water, they say, is life.
As it started, they fell subject to events that caused a disruption in the water supply. It took us a lot of courage, a lot of planning to continue this project, and we are extremely grateful for the cooperation and the support of the community.
Smart one, it's both gravity and a solar pumping scheme. So given we have two communities that benefit directly from this water spring, we have the upper Atuazri section of the project, which is supplied strictly through gravity. And we have the Ntagang section of the community together with zone 2 and zone 3 of upper Atuazri, which receive water through a solar pump. This solar pump is a Gromfo solar pump, 5.5 kilowatts, and it is powered by a solar array of 9.2 kilowatts located uphill in Tanga. So this pump pumps water to a 65 cubic meter concrete reservoir, which then distributes to 7 out of the 11 stand taps. The remaining 4 stand taps located in Upper Atuazri are supplied through gravity. When we talk of water quality, we look back at the history of the sources, and this is water that the community has been consuming back before some of us were born, and they have been consuming it safe, and there has been no waterborne disease outbreak. So the quality of this water is good, and we also double check with a renowned water testing facility approved by the Ministry of Water and Energy Resources, which confirmed that this water is safe for consumption.
For now, we have been struggling. You see, where we just visited the catchment tank, that is where we used to go and fetch water. It was a whole struggle to get water out there and climb up the steep hills to our homes. And you see how distant our homes are around here. And so it was not easy. Today, with the coming of ICRC to harness this system, the lives of those living in this area is already having a change. Water is right at our doorsteps, and then the quality of water we have now is not what we used to have in those days.
Still in health, achieving gender equity in health leadership remains a core priority for Women of Global Health Cameroon, an international NGO who for the past years have been working on sustained advocacy and concrete actions aimed at increasing women's representation in decision-making positions within the health sector. Taking stock of the journey, the president of WGH Cameroon, Dr. Nicole Fudambarga, highlights the progress made so far.
So far in Cameroon, we've been able to document the challenges and the barriers to gender equity in health and to the promotion of female leadership. And over the 5 years, we've worked at the strategic level with the Ministry of Empowerment and the Family, the Ministry of Health. We've been doing a lot of advocacy with the ministers to sort of promote female leadership and gender equity. And with the women, we are doing some capacity building, some